Here we are going. I got some cups and mugs today, all the different types you might like and like to use. But yeah, check them out. Pretty darn cool. We got all different kinds, and some are my favorite to use, and some I got thinking they're going to be a little bigger. And we have a whole plethora of different mugs and different types of mugs, and the new really good ones. But this is our little Disney. It came from French Disneyland, right? But they're a little too small. I thought they were going to be bigger because we kind of like to go to Disney. But they're really cool. But they're a little small. I don't use these tiny ones. A lot of people do. They're just too small for me, really. But they're good for a little shot. And they're super cute anyway. And this is pretty much the same thing. A lot of people like these. This is just a tiny bit bigger. But it's a pretty cool little cup. But, I got these. But I haven't used them really too much. Maybe once or twice. And then these are just these little standard bistro. I had bought some these from a bistro to use. They're pretty neat. They're good if you're, need to do a shot and then dump it into something else. These are really great for that. So that's a pretty cool little mini mug. And then this mug I bought down at the fair down here one year. I don't know. It's really a light ceramic. I forget what he said he made it of her, but it's light. It's a pretty good size. Not too bad. Kind of thick. It's a pretty cool one. I don't know. I probably used it twice, and I haven't used it that much, but I like the way it looked and everything. So this is a pretty neat handmade mug, and it's nice and light. I forget what he said he made it out of, but I've had that for quite a while too. And then we have some other mugs. This used to be, well, still is kind of one of Ucha's favorites. It's a Kala. They make these in Germany. Maybe I'm saying that right. It's a Kala. It's pretty, they're nice. They're a little thinner. These were my favorite ones before I started using Loveramics a lot more. But this is a really nice mug. Nice porcelain. Nothing better than a good porcelain mug. Really cool. And of course the classic thick-walled Pavoni cup. I got this on eBay. It didn't have a saucer. I always wanted the saucer to it, but I've never splurged out. But maybe one day I'll find one with the saucer just to be that way and have it. And the classic little double-walled, what are these, Bodums or something? No, I forget what these babies are. Huh. Anyway, they're pretty cool. I use these just also if you just need to do a shot and pour it into something else that's too tall for the Pavoni. I had these for a couple years, didn't use them much, but now I'm using them quite a bit lately. And it just works good. And then this is kind of a classic. It's a good size too. Hey, look. Misty blue pin in there. Still got a couple going. I'm gonna. Yeah. Anyhow, so these are a nice little. They're kind of thin. They weren't expensive. They're a nice, really kind of a nice size for a quick shot, and with a saucer. I ordered like a box of 6 of these. It took like 4 tries. And I ended up with, I think, 2 in 1 plate, but every single one of them was broken. Every time they came and they'd send me more. Finally, they just sent me my money back. But that was funny. They just weren't boxed up for shipping, but they always broke. But these survived. They're a little thin, and they're a little off round, but that's kind of why I like them. They're just a little funky. So they're always been pretty neat. And then this is also a Kahala. It's a smaller mug. I really liked this one for a while, and I did my own little upgrade to that for kind of the dragon egg machine. But this has been a nice cup too. I use this sometimes also, and I always like the way it looks. It fits the plate nice, so it's pretty cool too. That's a nice little mug. And then we get over, I bought this down at the volcano one time. It's made by an artisan that lives in that volcano village down there, and it was a little pricey, but it was my brother was visiting, so I bought this mug. It's a big one, bigger than I usually use. I don't even know if I've ever used this one, actually. But, yeah, it's a nice design. I liked it. I wish they would have made this, it's pretty good. It's almost like the mug, but I wish they would have made, this design in more of an espresso cup. Maybe they do next time. I haven't been down there in a long time. And then Loveramics. Yeah, these are nice mugs. Espresso Classic has these for sale right now too. This is a nice heavy mug, thick walled. It's a beautiful morning drinking mug for any type of coffee. That's a beautiful mug right there. But that's pretty cool. I've been using a lot of Loveramics lately. This is the size I drink most of the time. It's their big 300 ml. Yeah, Loveramics. It's nice and thick. These are great cups. I use these most of the time myself, drinking lattes, and sometimes I like the saucer. So I always like something with a saucer, just if you spill, but it's not necessary. And then this is pretty much the 250, I think. This is the Loveramics 2. Loveramics, it's a funny name sometimes, but they're nice and thick. This is the next size down. And I like to use these quite often. You just use less coffee if you want to make something a little smaller. That's the one to use. And then this is also a Kahala. This is their big, kind of like the Loveramics. And this was the one I used before I started using those. They're nice, a little thin comparatively, but that's a beautiful porcelain cup. And you have a nice big saucer that comes with it, or you can get with it. I got a little off-color one like that because actually the other cup broke one day. Oh no. And they're really good. And then our other Loveramics this is their porcelain. It's a nice mug. It's not our 100. The shape's pretty good, the tulip, but I kind of like a straight one. But it's nice to have this one. I got this for Uta and one for Moody over Christmas, so they could have a kind of a Christmassy mug. So that's pretty darn neat. And so I've been using a lot of Loveramics, but this is kind of a sampling of all the size. And then I'll show you the best one, which I really wasn't going to think is the best, but it really did. And hey, there goes Misty Blue popping off. So maybe we'll just pop one of these out real quick, and we'll talk about that one. Let's do this, baby. There we go. That one, there we are. It's pretty cool. That one ran a little quick because these beans have been out here for a few, like 5 or 6 days. So they got a little old. I left a little in there, then I made this. But that's an example when your beans get a little older sometimes. They're still all right, but you got to tamp a lot more. And I should have tamped this a little harder. And also I'm out here, I'm using a different tamper than I use inside, so it's a little lighter. But it's still a nice little cup. Hey, nothing bad with that. But anyway, so when your beans might get a little older, remember you got to tamp harder than normal, and since I use different tampers, this one weighs less. I always got to remember that too. But anyway, that's pretty cool. We just whipped out a coffee, and then these Nomads, I have to go, okay, Ucha likes to take her coffee with her sometimes, and we have these other to-go mugs we got on they're a little thin, but they were neat. They were made out of recycled bamboo or something. But yeah, these are the Nomads. I have some of these on the site, but this is like the most epic to-go mug. Plus, we're drinking coffee at home in these now too, because even though they don't have a handle, God, they're beautiful. They're like double-walled, and they have a little no-skid thing, and they're really a nice size, 6 ounce. They're really kind of right between these two in size, so they're really nice. They're beautiful. They have a great top. Works really good. It has, you can probably see it. Yeah, there it is. See, it has a little drinking hole. And then when you move and then this for when you're driving, and then you just move that over here, and they have a little storage thing so it sits flat when you want to leave it open. But you just spin this over and it seals, so if you're cruising or driving, it doesn't plop out of that little hole, do a little rocket out of there. But yeah, these are like the epic mug. I gotta say, I was suspect of them, but now they're my favorite. Nucha drinks almost having all her coffees in here now. It's a little windy, but there's a little odd swell coming up north. It's supposed to be a south, but there's a swell, so we're going to go this afternoon. But yeah, that's all the cups and mugs. And almost every style. There's a million different types, whatever one you like. I like the Loveramics. They're kind of like the trendsetter right now, but they do have a good product, that's why. And, you know, some are cheap and chintzy like this, and you get a bunch of them, they break pretty easy. And others you get because you like, but then you realize they don't, you may not use them. But a lot of people like the smaller ones, so you know, I like to have a variety on hand, just depending on whatever you want to do. And that's going good. And then, what can we do? Look at this. So it's completely intact, really craddity, and look at that baby. So but it has everything in it. So we're gonna, wait till you see. We're gonna do something with this. It's just the beginning. So you'll be seeing what we're gonna do with this baby. So nothing's wasted, nothing's thrown away, and this is gonna work perfectly. I'm gonna probably pop it apart and of course do new gaskets and everything. But yeah, it's just an old. Yeah, it's just an old group head and lever. But we're gonna build something off of this thing. This is the show. We're going to get something that's going to be so freaking epic you won't even believe it. It's probably one of my best ideas. Maybe not the best, but pretty good. It's going to be a little different. But there we go. We're going to pack it up here and head down to the beach. And yeah, so and oddly enough, when I was digging on my mugs, I found this little tiny. You can just barely see it. It's a little pin, and you know what? It fits right in the steam wand hole. So if you have a little plug, you can use that to clean it out. I didn't even know I had it. Well, there's some wind. So that was from something else. And then we were sweeping up out here, and I found my little clip that was flying like a month ago. And it was just, that's a Murphy laying right in the open. I looked forever, used a magnet and everything. But that's about it. Misty Blue's still going. And yeah, heck. I got to head out. The wind's coming up. I don't want to miss out today, but that might make the waves kind of fun. Everyone goes home.